Probably a lot of you guys are wondering what are the best epic damage dealers in Dragonheir Silent Gods across all of the 3 seasons. That's exactly what we're going to discuss in today's video, guys. Welcome to the channel, I'm Skratch. Today we're going to do top 15 best epic damage dealers in Dragonheir. Now I haven't done a video like this, I feel like in 7 or 8 months, since I was in the very first month of season 1, guys. So it's been ages. Since then, we got a bunch of new characters in the game, and it's definitely time to revisit a bit the list and see how it changed. And we got a couple of characters that got rebalanced. I don't necessarily think that really affected anything, though. This video is brought to you by Dragonheir Silent God, so I just want to say a big thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are new around here, you're new on the channel, and you haven't tried Dragonheir Silent God just yet, or you want to help and support the channel, you can download the game by using the link in the description down below, or in the pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code you see on the screen, and come and join us in Dragonheir. I actually have a couple of accounts, one in Season 1, one in Season 3, and both of them going pretty strong. Talking about all of the epic damage dealers, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm super curious to hear kind of like your opinion as well on the characters, you know, like kind of like what's your top 5, for example, your best damage dealers that you have on the account and stuff like this, because the game is pretty dynamic. We have a bunch of awesome characters, right? So a lot of things can really change based on the team that you are running. Keep in mind, as a disclaimer, right, each one of these characters will have to be paired with the right team in order to create the perfect synergy, right? So Wild needs to go with Wild, Frost with Frost, etc. You guys know how that works. So we're gonna go straight to the main index right here. I'm gonna give you guys a couple of ideas on how is probably the best way to build these characters. So I'm gonna start with Radiance. He was added in Season 2. He is a burn character. You have a bunch of epic and rare activators for him, and he can put in some crazy damage, guys. Like, honestly, the only place where he's not good is the Goblin, because he has this weird area of coverage that's basically surrounding him, and he's never gonna be in a position where the Goblins, they're all surrounding him, no matter how you position him on the board. So it's pretty hard to get maximum value out of this character. The main thing that he really does well is this ultimate skill will basically detonate every single burn stack on the enemy. Now, I've seen him doing 1+ million damage per hit with this skill and 10 stacks. You can use rare characters. They are the best, actually, to enable him. And in terms of an artifact, guys, the Eyeball of the Giant is probably one of the best options. If you're not a Whale Kraken that has all of the legendary artifacts, you know, the Eyeball of the Giant, or the Revotrix Roots is the legendary artifact that you're getting from Season 2 from Feymender, you know. So Radiance, top notch. Use him in the Chaos Shadow bosses, Chief Challenges, World bosses, dungeons. I haven't really tried him in the Vortex, I'll be honest with that. But leaving that on the side, for the Vortex, I've got something else better for you. Tunnel Nun, wild character, available from the very beginning. And my god, the main thing that I really like about this character is that you can build her with 80% crit rate, because all of her kit will bring an additional 20% crit rate. Her passive will bring in crit damage, guys, which is crazy, and is gonna slowly get built up all the way up to 100%, okay? Each time you're gonna get a successful wild from allies, or including herself. So you're gonna get an extra 100% crit damage from there. And this skill right here will gain increased attack on her. In Season 3 is a massive kind of like issue right now, because you don't really have any increased attack for most of the characters, and characters that are able to bring that on themselves is actually going to get a massive advantage over the rest. They are going to get a massive advantage over the rest. Pardon my my broken English, guys. Then moving over to the next one. So that's it from the fire element across all of the seasons. Yes, honorable mentions to Foley, Alfie, Dane. Dane is a pretty solid AoE damage dealer. I do think that overall, comparing him with most of the rest of the top 15 damage dealers, that's what we're doing, top 15. I feel like he just brings in more utility. He's great for the Goblin, but I feel like in pretty much in all of the other areas, he drops a bit. Don't get me wrong, you guys know me. I freaking love Dane. I'm using him on both of the accounts since day one, you know, since the beta. but just kind of like comparing him with characters that can just blow up stuff, he is a bit behind them. And I do wanna bring in a poison one as well, because I feel bad not having one of them in here. And just looking at them, they don't really have many options. I'll be very honest with you guys. The best option from here is gonna be Dargo. He is added in Season 3 as a corrosion character, and while he is a very good enabler, and I would probably argue and say that yes, he's not really doing a lot of damage himself, But if you are building him nice, he will end up in doing a pretty good chunk of damage. Sometimes even over damaging some of the corrosion legendaries. So I just kind of like wanted to put a poison one on the list as well, because it feels bad. Like literally nothing in here. So if I would be to replace Dargo, I would definitely bring Dane instead of him. Moving over to Lightning, guys. Here we actually have some awesome characters. I feel like most of the artifacts that I just mentioned before, the Eyeball of the Giant, if you're running the Ravatrix roots, they will work on all of these characters, like hands down. Shagral, he is an absolute beast. If we are talking about PvP, if we are talking about PvE, guys, he is just obliterating enemies. You have attack speed in all battles. You have this passive, where basic attacks have a chance to hit twice. And the main thing is that all of his skills will count as basic attacks. So this one right here, the battle skill, leaps at the enemy with the lowest current HP and smacks him really hard. Very likely to one-shot it if we are doing PvP. And the ultimate counts as a basic attack, and he gains attack up as well. So imagine that passive coming into play, In terms of artifacts, you can always use different artifacts that can increase the attack speed, or something like that, and it will still be a lot of value. But I feel like the Eyeball of the Giant, Ravatrix roots, it just can't go wrong with those artifacts. Now, just judging by his passive, you really want to get maybe like a horseshoe or something that will really increase the attack speed on him, just because of that passive. Then, Sheltar, there is definitely no top 15 without including this character in play. He has a disgusting passive, basically, where he can deal derivative lightning damage. And the thing is, when he is activating his ultimate skill, enhances all allies with lightning force, granting them Blessing of the Thunder. So gains a chance of dealing additional lightning damage with basic attacks. That's what happens. So he's gonna give this to all of your characters that are dauntless, So this will be very, very nasty. Plus, they will have double chance of triggering these effects, So they're very, very efficient. The main problem with characters like this in most of the situations is that they are melee characters, so it's a bit harder for you to keep them alive. It really depends what exactly you are doing. It's not going to be great for the Grave of Venom as an idea, right? There are some chief challenges, aka Chaos Shadows, where it's not necessarily the best combo. I still managed to make them work and achieve great results in Season 1, in Season 3. In Season 2, I think was a bit harder to use them because the boss was Stalwart, if I'm not mistaken, so was a lot of crowd control. But even there, you were able to basically get the 22+ million damage without a problem. While we have a couple of other amazing characters in here, guys, Thunderbolt sucks in terms of epic characters. Yola, she's a nice support, but she's just not bringing in as much damage. Nimbus, he's an absolute beast for the Dauntless, guys. Like, these are all characters from Season 1. Dauntless really dominated the entire board with so many good characters, The hero gains attack speed up when obtaining a buff. The battle skill deals lightning damage. Every 1% extra attack speed gained by the hero is transformed into damage, which is very, very solid. And right here, he locks onto an enemy, deals tons of damage. The attacks are considered basic attacks. Again, Ravatrix roots, Eyeball of the Giant, Horseshoe, something that can increase the attack speed. It will definitely work wonders on this character. Talking about Radiance. Now, right here, we have quite a few decent ones too. The number one is Hagio, no questions asked. Like, the capabilities of this character to deal damage are just absolutely mind-blowing, guys. The AoE attack and basically gaining ultimate energy as well, and just being able to jump on an enemy and do a lot of damage is just amazing. You know, you can even trick the bosses usually and make him jump behind them if you do one time on a manual, and then you let him play on auto and he's gonna stay positioned there. That's a pretty awesome thing as well. So Hagio, super strong. It works well if you pair him with the Caitlyn, if you pair him with Elvis, if you have them as epics. If no, Laurentil, Alton as legendaries, you know, they do need somebody to activate them. Then talking about aura characters, I feel like the rest of the rally ones won't be dealing a lot of damage. Martina, she's nice, but she's not that nice, to be honest. And talking about the aura ones, these were added in Season 3. You have Carrot, which is a pretty decent one. Gituna can deal a lot of damage as a rally, though. I feel like I've talked about her in Season 1. The problem is I've never used her since. I feel like no matter what teams I'm building, there's always somebody else better that can come in play. And that, again, has to do with the fact that she's a melee. So I'm not going to put her on my list, even though she can smack quite a bit. I'm going to give it to Theohane, guys, from the Aura one. She still seems to be kind of like the best out of them, you know. And these characters work slightly different than the regular ones because it's all about aura energy rather than ultimate energy, and they will enter a state of blaze and then deal damage from there. This character got a bit nerfed or fixed. I'm not even sure exactly what would be the right terminology for it, but is a pretty decent one if you are looking to invest in an aura character. From the Frost, right here we have quite a few awesome ones. Talking about Gertin, added in Season 2, Ice Blast. It's kind of like the Tunnel Nun of Ice Blast, but even crazier, because I used to reach some absolutely disgusting numbers with Gertin in the Vortex, and that's something that you cannot do with Tunnel Nun, regardless, unless you have Flora. And my god, these Ice Blast characters, guys, is all about the battle skill, to be honest. It's not really an easy task to time it with the defense down and stuff, but having a good activator is key, of course. You can either use Nord as the rare character, you can either use Bladin as the epic character, or use Sheena as the legendary character, and you're going to get absolutely disgusting damage from this character on any boss, dungeons, vortex, chief challenges, world bosses, anything. She's going to just smash them all. So super strong. Rowena, probably the best epic Frost character in the game when we are talking about damage dealers, having the capability to do a nice AoE and really do a lot of damage with that skill. I've been using her in quite a few different areas in Season 2, especially the Mecha Torque. She's gonna put in some serious work. You can run her in the Feymander, you can run her in the Pillar of Trials. Right here, she has a chance to inflict Frost, but of course, you do need a character to activate her, basically. So either you're using Rava, either you're using different character to basically apply that Frost. Seidik, funny enough, he's not far off from Bladin, guys. Yes, he's not as powerful, but Seidik, he is just such a freaking monster when we are talking about damage. Again, another Ice Blast character added in Season 2, guys. Definitely do not sleep on him. You will need him for chief challenges. You can even run him together with Gertin in the Vortex, depending on what sort of team you have built, of course. But he is definitely doing an amazing amount of damage. Hands down. Do not get scared. Invest in him. Don't worry. Now, Bladin is a good activator for Ice Blast. Vorash is a fairly decent damage dealer, guys. He's just not going to make my top 15 because while you can get some nice AoE damage out of him, overall, he's not really going to outdamage any of the rest of the characters or even come close to them, you know? So we're going to move over to the next. Zadok. Zadok is a pretty nice one. He's a summoner. The battle skill kind of sucks with these mini skeletons that are pretty useless. But this one right here, the ultimate in a straight line, shoots 3 energy waves. This actually deals really good damage. Now for the summoners, guys, you have of course different artifacts that you can use. But again, the Eyeball of the Giant, Ravatrix Roots, artifacts like this that are more accessible are actually really good for these characters. You can always go for the big boy legendary artifacts, but you don't need me to tell you what to use if you have them and you're going all in on all of the artifacts, right? Then Questa. Questa deals an insane amount of damage. She can tank. She can heal. She can steal ultimate energy. She can put decrease attack. I love this freaking character, guys, okay? Hands down, this was the first character I maxed in Season 0, in the beta. You have the passive that gives recovery over time to all of your team if you kill somebody, okay? Very, very nice. Then you have the attack down from the battle skill. And then she is a jumper too, so she's going to jump on the ally, or on the enemy with the lowest HP, sorry, not the ally. And the ultimate will basically drop ultimate energy. Steal it, not just drop it. So it's going to be massive. She can tank versus some of the bosses, deal insane damage. So definitely, definitely do not sleep on Questa. If we are talking about other characters from here, guys, Joyce, an absolute monster. I feel like him and Questa are the best epic damage dealers from the summoners. He doesn't even deal damage with the ultimate skill. He just summons basically a duplicate copy of himself for 45 seconds. He can summon up to 3 at the same time, and all using the battle skill. Now, the best artifact for him, again, is either the Revatrix Roots, either the Manticore statue, because that will only increase the damage on the battle skill. The Eyeball of the Giant is not a good artifact for this character because he only deals damage with the battle skill. So keep that in mind, guys. But he deals disgusting damage. I've actually made a video on him not a very long time ago. If we are talking about shadow damage dealers, I feel like they're not really doing much. Like, yes, they do have a nice synergy and all that. He is amazing in terms of applying defense down. He can keep defense down on a 20 seconds character for the entire duration of the cycle. 10-10 every time applying it. Massive if you have him in the right team. But in terms of the damage that they're dealing as epics and even some of the legendaries, it's pretty underwhelming. So I will give this next one to Zarlot as the top 15 best damage dealers in Dragonheir Silent Gods. And I am talking about epic characters, of course. Zarlot, not only that he heals, but he deals a lot of damage, guys. So a lot of people might be getting deceived by seeing this support part. He has an attack aura for all battles. The passive has a chance to silence the enemy. The battle skill has an AoE range with recharge speed penalty. And the ultimate, a massive AoE range, sorry. He can put fear, he can heal, and summons a prison, basically, that deals damage continuously. He can bring in a lot of damage. Trust me when I'm telling you that. So if you're not building him with the Witch's Remains and you're giving him a proper build just for damage, he will definitely surprise your expectations, guys. But this is my top 15 best epic damage dealers in Dragonheir Silent Gods across all of the 3 seasons in May 2024. Probably in 6 months from now, once we're gonna get a couple of more seasons in, I'll be reviewing this video again and kind of like check if anything changed. Do let me know your opinion in the comments down below, guys. Thanks again to Dragonheir for sponsoring today's video. Thanks again to all of you for watching till the end. And if you guys want to get involved, head over to the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment and scan the QR code you see on the screen to download Dragonheir Silent Gods now. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.